7.1. How to use an ATM to withdraw cash. 1. F.
Insert your card.
Put your card into the machine.
2. C.
Select your language.
Choose the language you want.
3. G.
Enter your PIN.
Key in your 4-digit PIN. Then press Enter.
4. A.
Select a transaction.
Choose Withdraw Cash from the main menu.
5. H.
Select the account type.
Choose the bank account you want to use.
6. E.
Select or enter the amount.
Choose or key in the amount of money you want to take out. Then press Enter.
7. D.
Remove your card.
Take your card out of the machine.
8. I.
Take your cash.
Take your money out of the machine within 30 seconds.
9. B.
Do you want a receipt?
Decide if you want a receipt and press Yes or No.
7.2. Story 1.
Tonight we're going to start with a good news story. Well, good news for some people. Yesterday, bank customers in a village in Hampshire were thousands of pounds richer after an ATM started giving out double the money people had asked for. When people heard the news, they rushed to take money out of the faulty machine and long queues formed. For 2 hours, around 200 residents continued to withdraw money. It was mostly middle-aged people, but a few children arrived on their bikes with their parents' bank cards. One villager, who asked not to be named, said that some people had used 5 or 6 bank cards and had got £300 free with each card. At first, people thought it was funny, but then some people became a bit aggressive when other people started pushing into the queue. Finally, after 2 hours, the police arrived and switched off the ATM. They even posted a message on Twitter to stop more people arriving. They warned that receiving too much money from a cash machine might be a crime, and that the bank would ask people to pay back the money. However, later, the bank said that it wasn't the customer's fault and that no one would have to return the money.
Story 2.
And finally on Texas News this Wednesday evening, the man who got trapped inside an ATM. Customers who were using an ATM in Corpus Christi earlier today got a big surprise. While they were withdrawing money from the machine, several people received handwritten notes asking for help. A man who asked not to be named had locked himself in while he was changing the lock to the ATM room at the bank. Unfortunately, he'd left his cell phone and the swipe card he needed to get out of the room outside in his van. When he realized that he couldn't get out and couldn't phone for help, he started passing notes through the ATM receipt slot to customers who were taking out cash. One of them read, "Please help. I'm stuck in here and I don't have my phone. Please call my boss." At first, the customers thought the notes were a trick, but eventually one of them called the police. When the police arrived, they heard a very quiet voice coming from inside the ATM. An officer went into the bank, broke down the door to the room behind the cash machine, and found the man. Senior Officer Richard Olden said, "We thought it was a joke. It was just crazy that somebody was stuck in the ATM. Luckily, the man is okay."
7.3. Phrasal verbs. 1. Phrasal verbs to do with money. 1. E.
If I lend you the money, can you pay me back next week?
2. F.
I need to take out some money. Where's the nearest cash machine?
3. B.
I won't be able to pay off my student loan until I'm 45.
4. C.
He's so generous. When he won the lottery, he gave nearly all the money away.
5. D.
Nowadays, it's difficult for couples to live on only one salary.
6. A.
I had to live off my parents while I was at university.
7.4. 2. Phrasal verbs with away and back. Away. 1.
Don't run away. I won't hurt you.
2.
The boss will be away until the end of next week. He's at a conference in Mexico.
3.
Please put your toys away. They're all over the floor.
4.
If you take a paracetamol, it'll take the pain away.
Back. 5.
I'm sorry, but I'm confiscating your phone. You'll get it back at the end of the day.
6.
He's out, I'm afraid. Could you call back in about half an hour?
7.
Where are you going?
Just to the shops. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
8.
That's my book. Give it back.
7.5. 3. More phrasal verbs with take. 1.
Sorry, I can't come tonight. I'm taking my girlfriend out for dinner.
2.
They're taking on 10 new interns at Radio London. Why don't we apply?
3.
I take after my mother. We're both very outgoing.
4.
The plane took off 20 minutes late.
5.
Unfortunately, my company was taken over by a multinational firm and I lost my job.
6.
Take off your shoes, please. I've just cleaned the floor.
7.
You need to take the keyboard apart to clean it properly.
8.
I need to do more exercise. I think I'll take up cycling.
7.6.
I get up at 6.
I'm going to be away for 3 days next week.
What time are you coming back tonight?
They set off early in the morning.
The plane took off late, but we still arrived on time.
7.7. 1.
Can you fill this bank form in? Can you fill in this bank form?
Please put your clothes away. Please put away your clothes.
Did you switch the computer off? Did you switch off the computer?
2.
Can you fill it in?
Please put them away.
Did you switch it off?
7.8. 1.
My sister and I both take after our father.
Where's your phone?
I don't know. I'm looking for it.
How are you managing until you find a job?
We are living on my wife's salary.
2.
My boyfriend doesn't get on with his parents.
Jane's looking forward to her holiday.
7.9. 1. C.
The machine says insert your card. Put it in.
2. F.
Your shoes are really dirty. Take them off.
3. D.
Waiter, I can't finish this steak. Take it away.
4. B.
This chicken's past its sell-by date. Throw it away.
5. A.
The rubbish is beginning to smell. Take it out.
6. E.
It's probably on Wikipedia. Look it up.
7.10. A.
Take it out.
B.
Throw it away.
C.
Put it in.
D.
Take it away.
E.
Look it up.
F.
Take them off.
7.11. 1.
You owe me money. Pay me back.
2.
The music's too loud. Turn it down.
3.
There's a towel on the floor. Pick it up.
4.
No one's watching the TV. Switch it off.
5.
Your clothes are everywhere. Put them away.
6.
Here's the form. Fill it in.
7.
I can't hear the TV. Turn it up.
8.
Those shoes would look great on you. Try them on.
7.12. 1.
Hi. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, it's half time. 1-1. Yeah, there's a really good crowd. The stadium's packed. No trouble. The Liverpool fans are making a bit of a noise, but nothing major. OK, I'll call you when it's over. With a bit of luck, we'll be in the semi-final in an hour's time.
2.
So, tell me all about it.
It was absolutely brilliant. We were in the second row, just near the stage, and when he was singing, I swear a few times he looked right at me.
Did he sing Baby Baby?
Of course! All the best songs. It was just an amazing performance.
Were Sandy and Annette there?
Yeah, we met for a drink in the interval.
Gosh, you're so lucky you got tickets.
3.
OK, I'm looking for tickets now. There's a matinee at 3 o'clock and then it's on again in the evening at 8.
Let's go at 8 if we can get seats.
Well, there aren't any in the stalls But there are two upstairs in the circle, in the second row.
OK, go for it. It's a small theatre anyway, so we should have a good view wherever we sit.
OK. Right, we've got them. We can pick them up at the box office.
7.13 Sporting event.
Crowd. Half time. Stadium. Extra time. Final whistle. Opponent. Score. Spectators.
Play, musical or concert.
Interval. Matinee. Performance. Stage. Stalls. Circle. Audience. Curtain. Plot. Scene.
Both.
Box office. Arena. Fans. Program. Row. Tickets.
7.14 1.
We went to a live concert last weekend. We live next to the concert hall.
2.
We're massive fans of Ed Sheeran. The air conditioning has broken, so we've bought 2 electric fans.
3.
We sat in the back row, so we couldn't hear very well. After the concert, we had a terrible row.
4.
We had really good seats for the play. We were right next to the stage. My son is at a stage of life where all he's interested in is his phone.
$7.15 1. A.
Close.
B.
Close.
2. A.
Second.
B.
Second.
3. A.
Wind.
B.
Wind.
4. A.
Minute.
B.
Minute.
5. A.
Bear.
B.
Bear.
6. A.
Lie.
B.
Lie.
7.16 1. Andy.
A few years ago, I went to Wimbledon, the tennis championships, which take place in June in southwest London, and it's quite difficult to get tickets. But I was very lucky and got 2 tickets for the men's quarter-final matches on centre court, which are usually fantastically exciting with lots of big names. The tickets were very expensive, but I was really pleased because they were right in the front row.
2. Kathy.
Once, when my daughter was about 14, our local theatre, the Playhouse in Oxford, put on a play called The Woman in Black. It's a classic ghost story, full of suspense and quite scary. It's been made into a film starring Daniel Radcliffe. You know, who played Harry Potter. Anyway, I decided to take my daughter, and I got quite good seats in the stalls so she could see well.
3. Clive.
I'd been a fan of Leonard Cohen since I was a teenager, but I'd never ever heard him sing live. But then, in, I think about 2009, I read that he was going to do a world tour, and that he was coming to Valencia in Spain, where I lived. I was really excited, and I thought, but even though he's in his mid-70s, I'm finally going to get to hear him. The concert was in September, in the Velodrome in Valencia, so in the open air.
7.17. 1. Andy.
And on the day, my partner and I, we got up and drove to Wimbledon. It took about 2 hours. And as we were driving, it started to rain. The weather forecast was for showers, and at that time there was no roof on centre court, and the players couldn't play if it was raining. But we got there, parked the car, and went in, and found our seats, and sat under our umbrella. Play was supposed to start at 2, and at 1:30 the rain stopped. Then at 2 the players came on, and the atmosphere was brilliant. And then at 2:15 the rain started again. The match was stopped, and the court was covered over. And that was all the tennis we saw all day. We just sat there for 4 hours, hoping to see some more. But in the end, we just went home, very cold and very disappointed. It was a very expensive 15 minutes.
2. Kathy.
When we got there, we found our seats and sat down. The theatre wasn't full, but then, just before the play was going to start, the rows of seats in front of us suddenly filled up with a group of about 30 teenagers. They were obviously a school group, and they were a bit noisy, but I thought they'd settle down when the play started. So the curtain went up, and the audience went very quiet, and there was spooky music, and the tension started to grow. But then, every time anything happened on stage, the teenage girls in front of us screamed, even though nothing was really happening yet. So then we couldn't hear what the actors were saying for a few minutes until they quietened down again. In fact, they carried on doing this all the way through the first half, and it totally ruined the atmosphere for absolutely everyone. Their teachers obviously said something to them during the interval, or maybe someone had complained, but they weren't much better during the second half. It basically ruined the whole evening.
3. Clive.
I went with a group of friends, and when he came on stage and started singing, I was amazed at how great his voice still was. We were having a wonderful evening, but then, when he was on his fourth song, one of his old classics called Bird on the Wire, he suddenly collapsed on the stage. The other musicians all rushed up to help him and carried him off. We waited there, hoping that he was okay and that the concert would continue, but after almost an hour, there was no announcement. Nothing. And we thought maybe he'd died. Finally, someone came on and said that he'd been taken to hospital, and so the concert wouldn't continue. And we went home terribly disappointed. I'd waited all my life to hear him sing live, and we just got 3.5 songs. Luckily, he recovered and went on with his tour, but he never came back to Valencia. And then he died in 2016, so I never got to hear him live again.
7.18. 1. Andy.
A few years ago, I went to Wimbledon, the tennis championships, which take place in June in southwest London, and it's quite difficult to get tickets, but I was very lucky and got 2 tickets for the men's quarter-final matches on centre court, which are usually fantastically exciting with lots of big names. The tickets were very expensive, but I was really pleased because they were right in the front row. And on the day, my partner and we got up and drove to Wimbledon. It took about 2 hours. And as we were driving, it started to rain. The weather forecast was for showers, and at that time there was no roof on centre court, and the players couldn't play if it was raining. But we got there, parked the car, and went in and found our seats and sat under our umbrella. Play was supposed to start at 2, and at 1:30 the rain stopped. Then at 2 the players came on, and the atmosphere was brilliant. And then at 2:15 the rain started again. The match was stopped, and the court was covered over. And that was all the tennis we saw all day. We just sat there for 4 hours, hoping to see some more. But in the end, we just went home, very cold and very disappointed. It was a very expensive 15 minutes.
2. Kathy.
Once, when my daughter was about 14, our local theatre, the Playhouse in Oxford, put on a play called The Woman in Black. It's a classic ghost story, full of suspense and quite scary. It's been made into a film starring Daniel Radcliffe. You know, who played Harry Potter. Anyway, I decided to take my daughter, and I got quite good seats in the stalls so she could see well. When we got there, we found our seats and sat down. The theatre wasn't full, but then, just before the play was going to start, the rows of seats in front of us suddenly filled up with a group of about 30 teenagers. They were obviously a school group, and they were a bit noisy, but I thought they'd settle down when the play started. So the curtain went up, and the audience went very quiet, and there was spooky music, and the tension started to grow. But then, every time anything happened on stage, the teenage girls in front of us screamed, even though nothing was really happening yet. So then we couldn't hear what the actors were saying for a few minutes until they quietened down again. In fact, they carried on doing this all the way through the first half, and it totally ruined the atmosphere for absolutely everyone. Their teachers obviously said something to them during the interval, or maybe someone had complained, but they weren't much better during the second half. It basically ruined the whole evening.
3. Clive.
I'd been a fan of Leonard Cohen since I was a teenager, but I'd never ever heard him sing live. But then, in, I think about 2009, I read that he was going to do a world tour, and that he was coming to Valencia in Spain, where I lived. I was really excited, and I thought, but even though he's in his mid-70s, I'm finally going to get to hear him. The concert was in September, in the Velodrome in Valencia, so in the open air. I went with a group of friends, and when he came on stage and started singing, I was amazed at how great his voice still was. We were having a wonderful evening, but then, when he was on his 4th song, one of his old classics called Bird on the Wire, he suddenly collapsed on the stage. The other musicians all rushed up to help him and carried him off. We waited there, hoping that he was okay and that the concert would continue, but after almost an hour, there was no announcement. Nothing. And we thought maybe he died. Finally, someone came on and said that he'd been taken to hospital, and so the concert wouldn't continue. And we went home terribly disappointed. I'd waited all my life to hear him sing live, and we just got 3.5 songs. Luckily, he recovered and went on with his tour, but he never came back to Valencia, and then he died in 2016, so I never got to hear him live again.
7.19. 1,
If a friend asked me to go to a classical music concert, I think I'd say no.
2,
I love watching films in 3D. They're much better than ordinary ones.
3,
My parents didn't used to let me stay out late during the week when I was young. They wanted me to spend my evenings studying.
4,
I hate going to clubs. I don't like being in places where there are lots of people and noise.
5,
I never feel like going out on New Year's Eve. I prefer staying in.
7.20. 1,
Mandy agreed to come with me.
They decided to go home early.
We wanted to visit the Tate Gallery.
2,
We can't buy the tickets till tomorrow.
There's a lot of traffic. We might be a bit late.
You shouldn't drink so much coffee.
7.21. 1,
They enjoy watching films at home.
I finished reading the paper if you want it.
2,
She's given up working on Saturdays.
I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Are you going to carry on studying English next year?
7.22. 1,
They want us to go on holiday with them.
Liam told me not to tell anyone his news.
My parents don't allow me to wear makeup.
2,
His parents let him go to the concert.
Our boss makes us work late on Fridays.
7.23.
Candy Crush is a video game where you have to move pieces to make a row or column of at least 3 matching pieces. Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game in which you control a single character and have adventures by interacting with other players' characters. Poker is a card game where you bet on the values of the cards people hold in their hand. Scrabble is a board game in which you have to score points by putting letters onto a board to make words. Sudoku is a brain training game where you have to complete a grid of 81 squares with the numbers 1 to 9.
7.24.
Day 3, 8:15 a.m. Jenny and Luke have just discovered that Henry has been kidnapped. They Skype Rob immediately.
Rob, are you okay?
Yes. No. I don't know.
What are you going to do?
I need to get to England as soon as possible. I wish I was there with you now.
Me too. I just don't know what to do. Should we go back to the police?
I don't think so. You heard what they said. They're obviously watching you, and I don't want them to hurt Dad.
And we can't just give them the laptop. We know what they're capable of.
You're right. You know, there's something bothering me about Dad's message. It's the words he used.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. Can you play the end of the message again for me?
Please, don't worry. Tell Rob his old man will be in his study again soon.
That sounds strange.
What sounds strange?
His old man.
Why is that strange? He is your dad.
But he'd never call himself my old man. It's just not like him.
So what are you saying? That he said it deliberately?
I think it could be a clue.
But, old man, what on earth can that mean?
I don't know, but I'm sure it means something.
You know, there was something else. I could hear something in the background.
Like a generator or something.
Not just that. At the beginning of the video, it sounded like a church bell ringing.
Well, that could be anywhere.
Oh, you're right.
Anyway, I need to try and get a flight to London.
Okay, good luck. We'll call you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, you definitely can't go back to Henry's house now.
You're right. I'll need to find a room in a hotel or a B&B.
Don't be silly. You can stay here as long as you like.
Won't Simon mind?
Simon? Nah, he'll understand. And we've got the spare room.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Thanks, Luke. That's very nice of you.
No worries. I'll tell you about the house.
Seven point 25.
Luke and Jenny are in the kitchen.
It's a great location, and the rent is cheap. But Simon can be a bit difficult.
Oh, right.
He's got a few rules. After all, it is his house.
That's fine.
To start with, it's a no-smoking house.
Great.
And he's a strict vegetarian, so you can't cook meat or leave meat products in the fridge.
Uh-huh.
He just feels really strongly about not eating meat.
That's not a problem.
What about you? Is there anything you need?
There is one thing. Could I connect my phone to your Wi-Fi?
Sure. The passwords Luke and Simon Rule, all lowercase, all one word.
Got it.
Anything else?
Yeah, I have some clothes I need to wash. Is it okay if I use your washing machine?
Of course you can. But Simon prefers us to use the eco-friendly detergents. There's some in the cupboard.
Cool.
Oh, and you mustn't use a hot water program. He's very keen on saving energy.
Okay. And do you mind if I use your dryer too?
Sorry, we don't have one. But you can hang it out on the washing line.
Great. Is there anything else I should know?
No, I don't think so. Oh, you should probably move your car.
I guess Simon doesn't like cars either.
Well, no, but it's not that. We know the kidnappers have been watching us, right? They might see it and recognize us.
You're right. I'll move it right away.
Look, I'll come with you and we can get a coffee. There's a nice cafe around the corner.
Thanks, Luke.
Seven point 26.
To start with, it's a no-smoking house. You can't cook meat or leave meat products in the fridge.
That's not a problem.
Is there anything you need?
There is one thing. Could I connect my phone to your Wi-Fi?
Sure. The passwords Luke and Simon Rule, all lowercase, all one word. Anything else?
Is it okay if I use your washing machine?
Of course you can. You mustn't use a hot water program.
Do you mind if I use your dryer too?
Sorry, we don't have one.
Is there anything else I should know?
No, I don't think so.
Seven point 27.
Day 3, 11 a.m. Jenny and Luke are in a cafe.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
What do you mean?
Maybe we should just go to the police.
We can't. You heard what the kidnappers said.
I know. But it's all such a mess. What will we do if we can't find him?
We will.
I hope so. I just don't know.
Is that Rob?
Yes. Rob, hi.
Hi, Jenny.
Any news?
It's snowing really heavily and there aren't any flights to London. I don't know when I'm going to get back.
Oh, Rob, that's terrible.
I know, but I'll keep trying.
Is there anything we can do?
Yes, actually. I've been thinking about Dad's message. That old man business.
What about it?
He must be telling us where he is. It's the only explanation.
But what can we do about it? We don't know what it means.
Well, Dad also mentioned something about his study, didn't he?
Yeah, but...
I'm sure I remember something about an old man. It's the name of a book or a painting or something. And I think it's in the study.
Henry's study?
Yeah. Listen, Jenny, I think you'll have to go back there.
Back to Henry's house? But we know they're watching.
I know, and I'm really sorry, but it's our only chance.
You're right. Luke and I will figure something out.
Thanks, Jenny. I wish I was there to help.
Don't worry, we'll be okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye, Jenny. And be really careful.
Did you get that?
Yes, but we can't go to the house now. If they're there, they'll see us immediately.
We'll have to go when it's dark.
But they still might see us.
We can sneak in the back way. There's a footpath.
Good idea. I know that way really well. I used to play around there when I was a kid.
We'll need flashlights, though.
I've got some.
Okay, we'll have to be careful, but we just might be able to do this.
Seven point 28. 1,
It's all such a mess.
2,
I hope so. I just don't know.
3,
Any news?
4,
I know, but I'll keep trying.
5,
I've been thinking about Dad's message. That old man business.
6,
Did you get that?
8.1.
How often do you have your car serviced?
I don't have the flat cleaned. I clean it myself.
She has her house repainted every few years.
I'm having my hair cut tomorrow.
We've had a new bathroom put in.
The flat was in good condition, so we didn't have it redecorated.
When did you have those photos taken?
We're going to have the carpets cleaned next week.
You ought to have your roof repaired.
8.2. 1,
I had my hair cut last week.
2,
I usually have my food shopping delivered.
3.
I ought to have my eyes tested.
4.
I'm going to have my flat repainted soon.
5.
I hate having my photo taken.
8.3. Looking after yourself. 1. At the hairdressers or barbers. 4.
Bunches.
5.
A buzz cut.
3.
A fringe.
1.
A parting.
6.
A ponytail.
2.
Plaits.
11.
Have your hair bleached.
7.
Have your hair curled.
10.
Have your hair dyed.
8.
Have your hair put up.
9.
Have your hair straightened.
13.
Have a blow dry.
12.
Have a perm.
14.
Have a shave.
16.
Have a treatment.
17.
Have a trim.
15.
Have highlights.
8.4.
Dino, what made you choose hairdressing? What sort of training did you do? What sort of things do you love or hate doing in hairdressing? What do you think are important qualities for a hairdresser? Are women clients very different from men? What do you do if a client doesn't like the results? Have you ever had a really bad experience? Is it true that hairdressers always want to cut off more hair than their clients want? If you completely disagreed with what a client wanted, would you still do it? Do you have any tips for having good hair?
8.5.
Dino, what made you choose hairdressing?
I always liked it from when I was a child. I remember being taken to the barbers by my dad when I was a child in Greece, and I really loved the atmosphere there.
He wasn't a barber himself, though.
No, but my aunt was a hairdresser.
Ah. What sort of training did you do?
When I came to London, I went to the Vidal Sassoon Academy. It was a 2-year course, absolutely fantastic, very intense. I loved it.
What sort of things do you love or hate doing in hairdressing?
Oh, I love everything. There really isn't anything I don't like. And I do everything. Cut, color, highlights, straightening. Nowadays, some hairdressers specialize in maybe just color or just styling. But I think it's important to do everything.
What do you think are important qualities for a hairdresser?
Well, as I just said, I think being able to do everything, color, styling, cutting, is very important. I don't believe in specializing in just one area.
Any other important qualities?
I think you need to be sociable, to be able to talk to people, calm them down if they're stressed, listen to them if they want to talk.
Do you enjoy that?
Yes, I do. The sociable side of hairdressing was one of the things that attracted me to it. Even women who want to tell me all their problems, I don't mind it at all. It doesn't distract me.
Are women clients very different from men?
Yes, definitely. They are normally the ones who want to talk, and they are much more worried, stressed about their hair. Men are more quiet and relaxed, and they're not normally very fussy about their hair.
What do you do if a client doesn't like the results?
I try to correct it immediately. That's easy if it's the color, less easy if it's a cut.
Have you ever had a really bad experience? I mean, one where you couldn't correct it?
Only once, when I was still at college. I cut a woman's hair shorter than she was expecting it. Not much, only about 1 centimeter shorter, but she burst into tears, and I couldn't correct that.
Is it true that hairdressers always want to cut off more hair than their clients want?
I think maybe it is. Many hairdressers want to make the hair healthier and cut off all the parts that are, damaged. Or sometimes they have a style in mind and they just want to do it. But obviously, normally I try to do what the customer wants. You have to be flexible. That's another important quality in a hairdresser.
So, if you completely disagreed with what a client wanted, would you still do it?
Well, if a client wanted a treatment that I thought was going to damage her hair, for example, if she wanted to have her hair bleached when it was already in bad condition, then I would say no. But if it was a question of style, for example, a woman who wanted to have her head shaved completely, I would try to convince her that it wasn't a good idea. But if she insisted, I would do it. It's her choice after all.
Do you have any tips for having good hair?
Yes. Use good products. Ones which are right for your type of hair. I noticed that a lot of people take a lot of trouble choosing the right face cream. For dry skin or problem skin, for day, for night, and so on. But with shampoo, they just buy the first one they see in the supermarket.
Thank you very much, Dino. I won't forget that.
(8.6) 2. Keeping fit. Equipment. 9.
An exercise bike.
6.
A running machine.
5.
Weights.
10.
A rowing machine.
4.
A cross trainer.
12.
A yoga mat.
Exercises. 11.
Do sit-ups.
3.
Do press-ups.
8.
Do stretches.
7.
Do aerobics.
2.
Do spinning.
1.
Do Pilates.
8.7. 3. Beauty treatments. 5.
Manicure.
4.
Pedicure.
6.
Facial.
1.
Massage.
3.
Waxing.
2.
Fake tan.
8.8. 1.
It was hot and sticky and incredibly uncomfortable.
2.
And the head massage was divine.
3.
Definitely worth the time and money.
4.
A real luxury.
8.9. The body polish.
So, what did you think?
It was just horrible. Horrible! First they covered me in fruit puree, then they wrapped me in plastic film, then in blankets, and then I was left on a waterbed. I mean, come on! Fruit's for eating, not for putting on your body. It was hot and sticky and incredibly uncomfortable. And I felt so stupid. I'd never have that again. I give it 0 out of 10.
Sticky? It was fruit, for goodness sake. I thought it was wonderful. It smelled amazing, and the head massage was divine. I mean, how could anybody not like it? That was one of my favourite spa treatments ever. 10 out of 10.
The foot treatment.
Wow.
Don't tell me. You liked it.
It was wonderful.
I must say your feet look, wow, better. Clean anyway.
Well, I've never liked my feet much, to be honest, but now they look great. Definitely worth the time and money. 9 out of 10. What do you think?
Yes, it was great. A real luxury. And I love the colour they painted my nails. I agree. 9 out of 10. You see, I was right.
8.10. 1.
Napoleon was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo. Waterloo is in Belgium, just south of Brussels.
2.
The American fleet was attacked in Pearl Harbor in 1941.
3.
Berlin, which had been divided by a wall for 28 years, was reunified in 1989.
4.
The Sagrada Familia in Barcelona was started in 1882 and is still being built. It is due to be completed in 2026.
5.
According to legend, the city of Troy fought a famous war against Greece. It is thought by many to be in modern Turkey, but has never been definitively located.
6.
The city of Chichen Itza was built by the Mayans between 750 and 900 AD.
7.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated while he was being driven through Dallas in 1963.
8.
Chernobyl in the Ukraine had to be evacuated in 1986 after a catastrophic nuclear accident.
8.11.
The site is visited by thousands of people every year.
The castle is being restored at the moment.
The king's body has never been found.
10,000 soldiers were killed in an hour at the Battle of Gettysburg.
The bridge was closed because it was being repaired.
The hospital had been opened by the Queen 3 years before.
When will the new museum be built?
We are going to be given our exam results tomorrow.
The city centre has to be closed to all traffic next weekend.
The president must be elected by a clear majority.
Most people hate being woken up in the middle of the night.
8.12.
Buckingham Palace was built in the 18th century for the Duke of Buckingham and became the London home of the British royal family in 1837. St Paul's Cathedral was rebuilt in the 17th century by Sir Christopher Wren. Westminster Abbey was begun in the 13th century during the reign of King Henry III. Windsor Castle and the Tower of London were built in the 11th century during the reign of William the Conqueror.
8.13. 1.
You mustn't talk in class when the teacher is speaking.
2.
I got the wrong answer to half the questions.
3.
I doubt if we'll have time to visit the island.
4.
Listen to the sentence and copy the rhythm.
5.
I've wanted to learn a foreign language my whole life.
8.14. 1.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to St Paul's, which, as you probably know, is one of the most famous and most historic cathedrals in Britain. Just behind you is the Great West Door. You can see the Great West Door. The magnificent doors are 9 metres tall.
Ha dicho 9 metros.
And now in front of you, you see the nave, which gives you the most wonderful view of the full length of St Paul's Cathedral.
Das ist wie schön.
2.
We're now in the centre of the cathedral. Look up above you, and you can see inside the wonderful dome. It's one of the largest domes in the world, and I personally think the most beautiful.
3.
We are now in the area called the South Transept. Over there you can see the monument to Britain's great naval hero, Horatio Nelson, who died at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805.
C'est lui qui est sur...
4.
We're now in the South Choir aisle, and we're just going to stop for a moment to look at this marble statue of John Donne.
5.
Now, are you all feeling energetic? I hope so, because we're going to go up these stairs here to the Whispering Gallery, which goes around the inside of the Great Dome, and I do need to tell you that there are 257 steps.
Yo no voy. Yo no voy.
6.
We're now going to go back along the nave and then down into the crypt to see some of the tombs of famous people who are buried in St Paul's.
8.15. Part 1.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to St Paul's, which, as you probably know, is one of the most famous and most historic cathedrals in Britain. The previous church on this site burned down in 1666 in the Great Fire of London, and the famous architect Sir Christopher Wren was asked to design a new cathedral. It took nearly 40 years to build and was completed in 1710. Just behind you is the Great West Door. You can see the Great West Door. The magnificent doors are 9 metres tall.
Ha dicho 9 metros.
They're normally closed, except when someone very special arrives, for example, Her Majesty the Queen. And now in front of you, you see the nave, which gives you the most wonderful view of the full length of St Paul's Cathedral.
Das ist wie schön.
Maybe some of you watched Prince Charles and Princess Diana walk down the nave when they married here in 1981. Okay, now please follow me. We're going to walk down the nave and you'll see the north and south aisle on either side.
8.16. Part 2.
Right, can we just stop here? Can we stop here? We're now in the centre of the cathedral. Look up above you, and you can see inside the wonderful dome. It's one of the largest domes in the world, and I personally think the most beautiful. Yeah. Now, you remember the outside of the dome, which you saw when you arrived. Can anyone tell me what was on top of the dome?
A cross?
Yeah, that's right, a cross. In 1710, the year the cathedral was finally completed, Christopher Wren was 81 years old, and he was lifted up in a basket and was able to watch his own son place the cross on the top of the dome. Another fascinating thing about the dome is that from the top of the dome to the floor, down where you're standing, is exactly 365 feet, 1 foot for every day of the year.
How much is that in meters?
Approximately 111 metres. In fact, St Paul's was the tallest building in London right up until the 1960s, because until that time, no one was allowed to build anything taller near St Paul's. We're going to move on shortly, but just spend a few minutes now looking at the magnificent paintings. We are now in the area called the South Transept. Over there you can see the monument to Britain's great naval hero, Horatio Nelson, who died at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805.
C'est lui qui est sur...
Yes, yeah, he's the one on top of the Nelson's column in Trafalgar Square. We're now in the South Choir aisle, and we're just going to stop for a moment to look at this marble statue of John Donne. Donne was a dean of the cathedral and one of Britain's finest poets. He died in 1631. But this statue is also important because it's one of the few monuments that survived the Great Fire of London. And you can still see the burn marks at the bottom of the statue there. Now, are you all feeling energetic?
Yes.
I hope so, because we're going to go up these stairs here to the Whispering Gallery, which goes around the inside of the Great Dome, and I do need to tell you that there are 257 steps. So if there are any of you who don't think you can manage it, just wait for us here. So that wasn't too bad, was it? We're now in the Whispering Gallery. The gallery gets its name because if you whisper, talk very quietly on one side, your voice can be heard very clearly on the other side. When there are a lot of tourists, it doesn't always work. But as there aren't so many of us today, why don't you try it? So, did any of you try out the whispering? We're now going to go back along the nave and then down into the crypt to see some of the tombs of famous people who are buried in St Paul's. Right, now, the tomb over there is Lord Nelson's. You remember you saw his monument earlier? No. And then here we have the tomb of the Duke of Wellington, who defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. And finally, this tomb here belongs to the great man himself, Sir Christopher Wren, the architect of St Paul's. It's just a simple stone monument, but can you see the Latin words on it? Anyone speak Latin here? No. Well, I'll translate it for you. It says, "Reader, if you seek his monument, look around you." Because, of course, the whole of St Paul's is really Wren's monument.
8.17. 1.
Do you still go to the bank, or do you do all your banking online?
I do almost all of my banking online. The only reason I'd go into a bank is to ask for advice. So maybe for big things like a mortgage or a loan, I would go in to have a face-to-face conversation. But other than that, it's all online.
Have you ever had a problem with online banking?
Yes, I've had problems. Just glitches in the system that mean you can't access it when you need to. I've never had a huge problem though.
2.
What's the best live event you've been to recently?
I would say the best live event I've been to recently is last time I was in LA, I went to a Dodgers game. The Dodgers are my favorite baseball team, and now they're in the World Series, so it was exciting to see them play this year.
Why did you enjoy it so much?
I enjoyed going to the Dodger game so much this year because I live in New York now, and I don't get to see them play in person that often, and they're a really good team this year, so getting to see them play was really exciting.
3.
Do you ever play board games or other kinds of games with friends or family?
Yeah, I play board games with my family, with my wife and with my children.
What's your favourite game? Why?
My favourite game? I would choose either Monopoly or Cluedo. I play both of them a lot with my children and with my family. I'd probably say Cluedo is my favourite. My children love it, and I've always loved it since I was a kid as well. It's a detective game where you have to solve a crime and who's committed it, what with, and where they did it, and it's a really good game.
4.
How often do you go to the hairdressers?
Once a month, I think.
What do you usually have done?
I get my hair cut. That's it.
Have you ever had a haircut that you really didn't like?
Many times. Once I remember that it turned out to be super short. I was very disappointed. I almost cried.
5.
What's the most interesting historical site you've ever visited?
I almost hate to say it because it sounds like a cliche, but the Colosseum in Rome. Just the architecture and the things that people were capable of with their brains before computers is just mind-blowing. But also the Museum of Science, the Galileo Museum in Florence, is also very cool.
Why did you go there?
We went to Rome and the Colosseum specifically because my husband wanted to. I wasn't very interested, but I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And we went to the Galileo Museum because someone else had recommended it, and it seemed like an interesting thing to do, sort of off the beaten tourist path. And it was amazing. I think my brain melted a little bit.
Would you recommend it to other people?
Absolutely. If you do the Colosseum, pay extra for the guided tour. You get through the line faster.